Skip it up and that up.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Rich of Review Tech USA, and I may have one of the most ultimate Nintendo Switch unboxings on YouTube. Maybe not the production value, because right now my whole setup is GIMP because I have a green screen and I don't have the dual camera setup anymore. But I think this top-down view works pretty well, and it's in 4K and all that stuff, and it's nice and pretty, or 1080p, 24 frames a second, and it's all nicely lit, and look at my hands, So I think this is going to be an awesome unboxing. I also got a bunch of accessories, and we could check them all out, crack them open right here in this video, see what they're like. Maybe some of them interest you, maybe some of them don't. If I can, I'll have Amazon affiliate links below in the description. You can check them out there if you want to pick them up for yourself. And we can go from there. This is going to be a fun video. I may stutter and make mistakes, but that's just an unboxing. Let's just have fun. You know, we don't need Steven Spielberg to direct an unboxing. So anyway, let's start. We'll actually open up the Nintendo Switches last. No particular order with anything else. I have a whole bunch of stuff down below me right now. And let's start off with some of the accessories. Like true accessories, not controllers or anything. And this is the Nintendo Switch Game Traveler Deluxe Game System Case. Now, this it was funny. If you're wondering why I got so much stuff, is that my fiance actually had a gift card for an insane amount to Toys R Us. And she's like, you know what, I don't have anything else. We have all the stuff we need for the baby. You want to get, I know the Nintendo Switch is coming out, you want to get some accessories, have at it, Rich. And I was like, hell yeah. So I saw this at Toys R Us. This is the Game Traveler Deluxe System Case, and you could put everything in here. So let's crack it open and see what it actually holds for the Nintendo Switch. I'm not even going to be elegant with this, because I'm not going to return the case. And here we go. We got I gotta get a pair of scissors real quick. Feels really sturdy, holy crap. That is a nice case. Let me just grab my scissors. I have baking scissors. Look, it says Betty Crocker. Betty Crocker. So if you're making cupcakes, you use these scissors. You could chop off the stems of the cherries on your cupcakes. Ow! Look at that. Oh, it's Betty Crocker scissors. All right, anyway. Let me take off this little plasticky thing here. There we go. That was pretty simple. And let's see what's inside. We're gonna do a dramatic unzip. I got two of these. I'm obviously not gonna open them both. Now the cool thing is you could actually store the dock in here. So let's see and crack it open. Oh,
Nice.
we have another pouch. This is where you put the system. This is where you put the dock. This is where you could put either the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller. This is where I think you hold the games. They give you little two plastic cases for the games. So pretty much you could put everything in here, including, cables and stuff, and you could take your Switch with you anywhere. So if you're, since it's a portable system, even though even the home console mode, when you dock it, it's still so small and portable. If you go on business trips, this is what you're gonna take with you, and you're good to go. And it's a fairly compact case, and I feel like I could bash this thing against a brick and it ain't gonna cave in. So this is pretty cool, man. I like this a lot. I'm glad I picked this up. I'm glad this is kind of an impulse buy, like I said, at Toys R Us when I was there with my fiance today. So actually I was gonna do this later on, but why not? This is the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. Now, before I even heard about the Joy-Con issues, I had two of these ordered anyway because I like having a D-pad, and I just feel that for certain games like Ultra Final Deluxe Super Butt Cheek Street Fighter 2 that's coming out, which I'm looking forward to, but I don't know the exact name they gave it now. I want a D-pad for that game, and I'm going to definitely buy that, even though I think the price is a little too high, but we can get into that in another video. But yeah, I heard a lot of good things about the Pro Controller, and with the whole Joy-Con syncing issue, which I'm hearing it may only be review units, I'm hearing it may only be a small amount of Nintendo Switches, so it's not a big deal, whatever the case may be with that, but I still wanted a standard controller that, just you put in your hands and play it like you're playing an Xbox One or PS4 or on the PC. Yes, I use a gamepad on the PC, deal with it. Oh, Nintendo, you're doing USB-C across the board. I kind of thought you were, but now to actually see it, that's awesome. So let's take a look at the controller. On the shiny plastic, they have laminate or plastic to protect it. Oh my goodness. I heard from people who reviewed this controller or tried it out. They said it's like one of the most comfortable controllers they ever used. Yes, those feel good, because a lot of times the bumpers sometimes, like, that's one of my issues with the Xbox One controller. I like the Xbox One controller a lot, but the bumpers, I feel like I have to, like, my fingers get cramped touching the bumpers. Here, no. Oh man. And you kind of have this like textured rubberized grip here. The D-pad, it's a Nintendo D-pad. Nintendo, has D-pads down to a science. These buttons feel good. I don't understand why Nintendo is against using analog L and R triggers, but that's a design choice they make. I'm not really sure why. I wish they would change that design choice, but besides for that though, oh wow. Oh man, this is a really, 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 really comfortable controller. Like, I was blown away by the PS4 controller. I mean, who knows, maybe I may use this thing for a couple hours and come back to you guys and be like, look, my hands cramped up to the point where my fingers went numb, but as of now, this is a good sign. And it's USB, they're using USB-C on everything. Oh, I shouldn't be surprised by that. Like, why would they just use USB-C on the console and not on the controller? But I'm so glad to see USB-C becoming mainstream, man. I'm so glad to see Nintendo embrace it too. And this controller right now, I'm telling you guys, I'm not like being over the top or melodramatic. You'll try this controller, and at least with and I have big hands, this thing feels good. I'm very happy that I picked this up, and it gives you a USB-C cord to charge it too. So now this is one that actually, when I made a video about it a while back, I knew I was going to pick it up because I saw there was a leak of all the accessories for the Switch. And this one, to me, for a simple reason that I'll show you in a second. This is a play stand made by Hori. Now, the thing about this is, Rich, there's a kickstand built into the Switch. Why would you want this? But the problem is, if you want to use the Switch in tabletop mode, okay, you can't have access to the USB-C port, and you can't charge the Switch while you're playing. And the Switch only has, when you're playing games like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, 2.5 to 3 hours of playtime. That's kind of an issue. Whereas now with this play stand, it allows you to charge the Switch while you're playing it in its tabletop, here's my fingers here, tabletop mode. So that to me is pretty cool. And let's take a look at what this is about. Now, okay, this is pretty cool. Now, if you could see it, move my hands out of the way. You could actually fold this up really sleek and make it really, and it also, unlike the Switch's kickstand, you have multiple angles that you can angle your Switch at, which is brilliant. So you have this, if you want to have the Switch more upright, you can lean it down even more. You can lean it down almost like it's almost laying flat, which is nice because if you're playing this out and about and you're playing it somewhere in the sun, you can change angles and maybe get less reflection on the screen, which you can't do with the Switch kickstand itself. I like this a lot. This thing already kind of sold me. And all you gotta do if you want to fold it back up, boom, you're good to go. You can put it in that case I just showed you, and now you have, so I think this is much more versatile than the kickstand, so that's cool stuff. Well done, Hori. And it's pretty light too, and it feels like it's pretty stable. So now this, I'm not gonna unbox due to what the materials are of it, and I don't want it to get messed up until I actually put it on the Switch. Maybe I'll show another video of me putting on the Switch. This is from Hori again, a screen protective filter, which especially if you're gonna be using your Switch in portable mode a lot and taking it around like it's almost like a 3DS, get a screen protector for it. I'm hoping they actually come out with the tempered glass ones. I don't think this is tempered glass. They say it's easy to put on. Maybe, like I said, I'll make another video putting it on. I just don't want to take it out now until I actually put it on a Switch because I don't want to get dust and dirt on it. So you should have a screen protector. I'm hoping that even maybe Nintendo makes a tempered glass, screen protector for the Switch. So I picked up 2 of these so my screen doesn't get scratched up on the Switches. Let's take a look at this. This is, if you don't want to carry everything with you and you just want to carry the Switch around, this is the Tough Pouch. Now, I wanted like I said, the other case is really cool, and that's more if you're going on as I slice my finger open almost. And that's if you're going more so on a long trip where you need to bring the dock with you. But if you just want to use the Switch in its portable mode or tabletop mode, this is something more along the lines you're going to want to take with you. You're not going to want to carry every single piece around with you all the time. Kind of defeats the purpose of the Switch's portability. But there we go. This is the Tough Pouch, and it's pretty cool too. It has a nice soft velvety inside. Again, this is made by Hori. Man, Hori, you're making a ton of accessories for the Switch. I remember I saw these, but I kind of forgot how many they made. So you have the soft velvet here, so it protects the screen, and the soft touch plastic on the Switch. And you can put your game cartridges here, which they're extremely small, and it has an even tougher outside than the other case that I just showed you guys. So this is, I'm glad I got this too. It almost looks like an Atari Lynx case. I don't know why that just popped in my head now out of nowhere, but I feel like this looks like the case you get for the Atari Lynx. But anyway, I'm glad I got this. So if you just want to use the Switch in its portable mode, boom, there you go. You have nice, good protection for it. And just because I have a morbid curiosity, not that I don't really like talking to people when I play games online, but I want to see how this works with the whole app for the smartphones, and do you actually need the app for the smartphone? And we've heard a whole bunch of contradicting things, even from Nintendo themselves, about online communication with the Switch. This is the Afterglow Level 3 from PDP. I think I actually made a video on this. This is the Nintendo Switch online gaming headset. Now, like I said, I've heard rumors that you may need to have the app on your phone to actually utilize those capabilities. I'm hoping not, but who knows? Okay, jump cut here. It took me a minute to take off all the protective tape, so let's see. I'm interested to see what kind of plug this has on it. Now, stop. Okay, I'm stopping. Do not return the product where you purchased from. You have questions setting up this product or experiencing any issues, contact PDP customer. Okay, but like PDP, if the cord is broken, I'm gonna bring it back to the store. So you stop. You stop. It's a booklet. Well, I don't really think we need to look through that. Use one headset. Generally, they're pretty much all the same. Silica gel. If I was on unboxing therapy, I give this to Jack. I think his name is Jack, right? Let's see. Man, the amount of plastic that is around this room right now. Gotta peel that all off. Peel that off. Nice looking headset, making sure you guys can see. And does it fit my fat ass head? Oh wow, it fits my head with room to spare. Pretty comfortable too. Not the yeah. No, it's pretty good actually. Mic is perfect angle to talking to, not too close, not too far away. Wish I could show it to you right now. Can you see me on there? Can you see my head? Can you see my head? Can you see my head? Okay, but yeah, this is the headset. Make sure I'm in the camera here. Really comfortable, light. It's light but doesn't feel cheap. So that's a good sign. There's a difference between light and cheap, and if you've been doing this crap long enough, you'll know the difference. All right, so what do we have on this here? I'm sure this is a mute. Yeah, that's a mute right there. And you have your volume rocker right there. And this looks like this is gonna plug right into the Switch. So that's a good sign. So hopefully you don't need to have the damn app to play games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online. Comfortable headset, I could tell you that. I put it on my head and it's really light, but yet, like I said, it doesn't feel cheap. So that's pretty cool. Kudos to PDP for that headset. Had to think about who made it for a second. 120 gigabyte SD card for my Switch, because obviously you're going to need more storage, because there is only 32 gigabytes of storage in the Switch, and some of that is used for the operating system, so you have even less in the Switch. And if you're going to want to download any games, you're going to need extra storage. And I really think you need at least 128 gigs. You could get 64 if you really want to save some cash, but I would get more than that. So I got, when I was at Best Buy, I was like, all right, throw me a 128 gig micro SD card, and here it is. Let's look at some Switch games. Well, I got the two that were there. I wanted to get Bomberman R, Super Bomberman R, I think it's called. Didn't have it I guess I have to download it, so it was just tough to actually pick up a physical copy. Tried a couple different places, they didn't have it, but I did pre-order Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I got 1-2 Switch. Maybe it'll be a good party drinking game. I don't know, it just... Anyway, this is not that kind of video, so let me not go into a rant. But anyway, so here is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is the system seller, and I have an asterisk next to it because if you have a Wii U, you could get this game for the Wii U. Actually, originally it was supposed to just be for the Wii U, but then they decided to make it for the Switch as well, which is kind of what they did with Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Had to think about which Zelda they did with the original Wii. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess was only supposed to be for the GameCube, and then they realized it would be a good launch title for the original Wii, so they made it for the Wii as well. So here is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Here is the case. Now, a lot of people are giving Nintendo grief about why the cases are so big. Guys, do you look how small the cartridges are? Look at that thing, okay? Do you really, let me put it up to the camera more. Holy exposed connectors back there, Batman, you see that? Let me make sure I stay in the camera. You see that? Look how much of the pins are exposed back there. But look how tiny this is, though. Make sure. God, it is so hard to keep this in focus in the camera. Look how tiny that is. Could you imagine they made a case that was just a little bit bigger than this cartridge? Could you imagine? Think about it. You would lose that in a heartbeat. The reason the cases are big, so you don't lose the games. Like, I don't understand. Like, there was like news articles, like that's a story. Like, I think it's smart they made. They're not that big, and they made the cases big enough. So, let me go to my Switch library that I have in a case. I want to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh, look, I could conveniently find it because the case isn't microscopic. But anyway, rant done. Here is the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild case. I love the artwork in the front. The artwork is the same on the Wii U case. Midas doesn't have a Switch logo, herp derp. But here on the spine, you have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. On the back, you have all of the different artwork. And again, I like the size of these cases. I think it was a smart move, and I love, wow. I mean, I opened it up before, but I'm really paying attention. I love the artwork inside of here, too. So yeah, I like the Legend of Zelda, or I like the Legend of Zelda. I like the Nintendo Switch cases. I think they're the right size. I know why Nintendo made them this size. And don't put the cartridges in your goddamn mouth. I don't even know how that started. Why did Jeff Gertzman eat a cartridge? Did he know the fact they purposely put a bittering agent in it to deter kids from trying to eat them? Or did he just, I don't know, he gets so turned on by the box that he wanted to chew in the cartridge. But anyway. Really cool artwork, really cool cartridge, really cool cartridge case. I like it. Gives me a little bit of a nerd boner. So let's open up the other game here. 1-2 Switch. Watch, I end up really liking this. I talked so much shit about this game during the live stream. Watch, I end up liking it. I'm like, oh my god, it's such a fun party game, guys. You should like totally buy like 4 copies each. And here we go. 1-2 Switch. We have a nerdy guy with an afro. We have a girl, and they're holding their Joy-Cons. Hopefully they don't have syncing issues because this game won't work too well if they do. Yeah, artwork. Nice case again, man. I like it. It's clean. It's just big enough. We got sword fights. We got wizard battles. We're milking cows, which there's no way to make that not sound perverted. Quick draw, which I hear a lot of people, that's like their favorite one on here, like doing the Wild West shootouts. All that dance off and samurai training. Good. Maybe someone could slice off my nipple with a samurai sword. So, crack it open again. Man, I like the artwork in these Switch cases. I really do. Got your teeny tiny cartridge. Not going to take it out again. I showed you Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. No reason to. And it has 28 games. Showing you all 28 here. So, it'll be interesting to try this. Honestly, if there was more games to get at launch, I don't think I would have bought this, but it was there. And like I said, I got this from Toys R Us because I had the gift card, so why not? So, 1-2 Switch. Yeah. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. One last thing, I had to run upstairs and get this real quick. Aukie actually contacted me and said, hey Rich, we know the Switch is coming out. We know the battery life on it is kind of bad, which they're not wrong. Like I said, at best you'll get 3 hours when playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. If you play it in portable mode, it's not hooked up to a plug. So yeah, battery life on the Switch, from what I'm hearing, isn't great. But they're like, hey, we have a solution. Since it uses standard USB-C to power and charge the Switch, we are going to send you out a battery pack, which we know will work with it perfectly. So Aukey sent me out a ginormous 30,000 milliamp hour Type-C power bank. And I am going to crack this open right now. We can take a look at it. I know some of you guys actually like when I take this off. It's like Fat Man ASMR video. So here it is. We got, man, this thing weighs. This thing weighs a lot. So here we got the Aukey, the outside case. It's nothing special. Cardboard case. What am I talking about? And we have, what is this? 24-month product warranty. Really, Aukey? This thing comes with a 2-year product warranty on a battery? Okay. Again, I didn't contact them. They came to me with this. And I'll have an affiliate link below in the description, but they didn't pay me anything to talk about this. But I'm like, hey, this is a valid accessory for the Switch, especially with its crappy battery life. So, oh wow, this thing is a weapon. Holy crap, okay. Here it is. This is the Aukey power bank, and it feels like it's a nuclear power plant in your hands. All right, so let's take a look at the I/O on this, or let's take a look at the ports on here. This is the Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 port. This is just for standard USB devices, which this is what you'll be plugging your Switch into. This is for charging the actual power bank. It's a micro USB. They should just go over to USB-C even for charging it now. And this also, it says in and out on here, and this is a USB-C connector. So I'm guessing if you want to charge it with USB-C as well, you can. So this also, I'm going to make sure in the book, because I don't want to blow this thing up, but I believe you could actually charge the power bank with it, and you could actually charge things like your smartphone or your Nintendo Switch as well. So it's an input and an output. So you could charge this power bank, and you could charge other devices as well from that USB-C. On top, you have your power button. Does this have any power? It just blinded me with a light. I missed that part. You see that? It has a flashlight on it. That's actually pretty cool. Okay. And that's it. It's a power bank. 30,000 milliamp power bank. So I'm hoping this will give the Switch maybe a 6 to 8 hour average battery life, maybe even more. I don't know. I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass right now, so don't quote me. I gotta try it, and I told Aukey to give me a couple weeks after the Switch comes out to really use it and see how much of a benefit it is to have an external power bank. From what I'm hearing, I watched Rerez TV and some other people do their reviews, is that it will definitely lengthen how long you could play the Switch in portable mode significantly. However, because the Switch hardware is so demanding, it won't actually charge the internal battery. It'll just drain from this, and it won't charge the Switch's battery at all. So you'll get a ton of extra time, but you won't recharge the Switch battery while using this. It'll just drain from the power bank that you use, so, or the external battery that you use. So we'll have to wait and see. So still looking forward to it. Hope this actually does help out the battery life on the Switch. Kind of sucks you have to carry around another brick with you, but if it does the job and you end up getting, like, God willing, 10 hours of battery life out of the Switch because you have one of these, again, that may be wishful thinking. Hey, that's cool, and I'm not complaining. So thank you, Aukey, for sending this out to take a look at and review, and hopefully it'll be a beneficial accessory to have with my Switch system. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, who has hard nipples? Raise your hands. Raise your hands and flick your nipples if they're hard. This is the Nintendo Switch, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm either gonna love this thing or absolutely despise it. I'm either gonna think it's the most brilliant thing Nintendo has ever done, or I'm gonna think it's the stupidest mistake they ever made. I don't know yet, okay? I'm hearing a bunch of good reviews. I've also seen a decent amount of mixed reviews on this thing. So I have a feeling I'm either gonna be in one extreme with this, or like I'm either gonna love it or hate it. It's definitely an original concept. Well, not original. They basically did what NVIDIA's been doing with the Shield for the past few years, and they refined it. But they decided to take what NVIDIA's been trying to do with the Shield and bring it to mass market. So I'm going to open up only the red and blue Joy-Con Switch. I also have a gray one here, but it's the same thing, except you're going to see the blue and red Joy-Cons. And here we go. We're going to crack it open. And wow, there's no There's no tape on this? There's no tape blocking me and making me have to awkwardly cut it with a scissor? Is the world ending? Oh! Oh, I've seen other unboxing videos. It's right there. It's right there. So let's move this over. That's the meat and potatoes of opening up a Switch. So we'll put that over to the side. And let's see what else the Switch comes with here. So we have an HDMI cable. Not going to open up the HDMI cable because it's the HDMI cable. We know it's an HDMI cable. HDMI cables connect to your TV and give you high definition video. The Joy-Con grips.
The Joy-Con straps, you dumbass, not the Joy-Con grip. Anyway, back to the video.
These I will open. But I'll put, actually, you know what? No, I won't open them right now. I'm gonna put them over to the side. And we have paperwork, yeah, don't blow yourself up while hooking up the system, you know. Look at the less fun thing first. This I will actually take out because some people actually want to see the power brick in its entirety. And I knew it wasn't going to be enormous because they're using the Tegra X, a modified Tegra X1 chipset inside of the Switch, and those plugs for things like the NVIDIA Shield TV weren't big either, so those power bricks weren't big, so why would the Nintendo power brick be big? So here it is, USB-C, as you can see. This is the Switch dock, and I know you guys are definitely going to want to see this, so if you haven't, for some ungodly reason, haven't seen another, you have to see the mess behind me. Jesus Christ. If you haven't seen another Switch unboxing, which I'm sure 98% of you have, you just come here for the cucumbers and nipples, which unfortunately offered you none of those today. You'll know what the dock is about. This is what makes the portable system into a home console, and here it is. This is the dock. Has the really super rubbery feet on the bottom. Holy crap. And this is the dock. This is the front. And let's see if we can see inside there. Okay, so we have, so I see the USB-C port down there. And it has two kind of spokes that stick out. I'll show it to you. I don't know if you can see it. Make sure you can there. There we go. See that? USB-C, two spokes. And it's weird. I know Digital Foundry was right. They don't really have, if you light on the bottom here where my fingers are, make sure you can see. They only have like little tiny pieces of felt. Or, yeah, like a rubber to protect. You would think they'd have all of this lined with some kind of protective coating to make sure the screen doesn't get scratched, which makes me more thankful that I got those screen protectors. That's kind of disappointing. But really, all this dock is, there's no hardware inside the dock. As a matter of fact, I'll show that to you now. If you crack open the back here, make sure I have it on camera. If you crack open the back, all you're gonna have, if you see, unfortunately you can't, but I'll point it out to you. You hook up your AC adapter right here, your USB right there, and your HDMI out there, and that's pretty much it. On the side here, you'll get two more USB ports here, and that's it. There is no brains inside of this thing. You slide the Switch in, and that's what just makes it hook up to the TV. There's nothing, there's no processor in here, there's no graphics processor, there's nothing. It just, the Switch knows when it's docked, and it changes the GPU's clock speed to a higher clock speed, so you get better performance out of it, because the Switch's screen's only 720p, whereas obviously on an HD TV you can go up to 1080p. You're not going to do 4K with the Switch because it just, the hardware can't handle it. So there is the dock. Now let's take a look at what you guys really want to see. Take a look at the system itself first. This is the Switch. And man, oh, wow. They keep on saying it was tiny, but they weren't playing. This thing is really, really, really friggin' small. And wow. And it's not heavy at all. It's not heavy at all. Holy crap. Now here you have the two rails where you slide on the Joy-Cons. Okay. There's the other rail where you slide on the Joy-Con. On the top, let's look at our I/O. Here you have your game. Make sure I move my hand out of the way. Got your game card slot right there. Next to that, you have you have your headphone jack, ports for ventilation. I think this does have a little fan in there from what I've heard. You have your volume rocker. Apologize if you can't see it. And you have the power button, which I'm not going to press, but definitely kind of a mushy volume rocker. Not really thrilled with that. Let's take a look at the bottom here. We got USB-C which bravo Nintendo for using a universal charging port standard, not something proprietary. Over on the top here, let's take a look at the kickstand. There it is. This is the kickstand that CNET does not like. And, okay, it's flimsy. It's a little flimsy. You got your micro SD card slot. I'll show you. Right under there. Make sure I'm in the camera there. Got your micro SD card slot right there. Okay, that doesn't hold up the Switch though. Is it that easy to knock over? Yep. Pretty easy to knock over. Can I put the Joy-Cons on? Let's see. Now see, they are, now that's the only thing CNET is right about. Actually it is. It's not, it's pretty fragile. Easy to knock over. Like, look, I'll show you. Oh. Maybe that CNET video isn't too far off. Now let's see. Let's do the Joy-Con connection test while the kickstand is out. Yeah, is CNET, I'm gonna say that maybe exaggerated that video just a tad. I mean, yeah, it's not the best kickstand in the world. I wish like what Nintendo did was what Microsoft does with their Surface products. They should have put a kickstand all across the bottom so it made it much more stable, but this is okay. This isn't a big deal. Now, can I take the Joy-Cons back off without the system dropping? Let's see. Yeah. This isn't. Yeah, not the end of the world, CNET. Sorry. And you know what? Pick up that actual dock that I showed you before too, that actual stand, so you could charge your Switch while you're in tabletop mode, playing it like this. And then you have multiple angles, it'll be a lot more stable, and there you go, problem solved. Don't even have to worry about the kickstand. So yeah, the kickstand it's really thin. It's a little flimsy, but it's not as bad as CNET was making it out to be. You'll live. But anyway, that is the console. Man, that is crazy. That's so tiny. That's so, oh, wow. Okay, I'm having like a nerd moment here, guys. I'm sorry. So let's see. These are the Joy-Cons. Joy-Con boys. Etika, I see you right now, man. And this is the Joy-Con. This is the thumbstick here, which has like virtually no travel at all. Can click it down too. Okay. Like the way the buttons feel. Those feel pretty good there. Have your home button here. Plus button. And you have a shoulder button, which feels really... that feels really fragile. I don't like the way that feels at all, to be quite honest with you. And then you have your trigger. Trigger feels okay. I felt a hell of a lot better, but that feels, minus the face buttons, that's actually probably the most stable feeling button. This bumper feels like crap. I don't like the thumbstick, feels really, there's no throw. There's like no throw. Can you guys see that? There's like no throw to the thumbstick. Then you have, this is with obviously out the grip on here. You have the L and R buttons on top, and then you have a sync button here. I don't know if you make sure you can see that. So you have your L and R, then you have a sync. And can I play like this? This is making me much happier that I got the Pro Controller. I just can't imagine playing two players with somebody with this. Okay. Now let's see. I was hoping that I was going to be wrong and that was going to be more comfortable. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm judging it too harshly. But no, I don't think I am. Anyway, all right. So this is the Joy-Con grip, which slides on this way. Okay. Oh boy. And I'm back. And I'm kind of angry. These are little Joy-Con grips, which make the little controllers more robust, because these Joy-Cons can actually be used as individual controllers. I'm going to slide them onto the system, show you that in a second, but you could also use these if you're doing multiplayer with Mario Kart 8 or Street Fighter 2 Final Butt Cheek Edition, whatever it's called, it's coming out. You could use these as individual controllers and play local multiplayer on your Switch. Cool. So they give you these little extra things to make them beefier. Great, that's cool too. But you gotta pay attention, and it's not really that smooth. Nintendo, I can't believe that you did this. Okay, trying to be cool, calm, and collected here. The first thing that you will notice is that you have to have the pluses and minuses matched up with the system, because you could put these on either way. So see your little minus right here on the Joy-Con? You have to have the minus, make sure it's on screen. Can you see it? There's a minus on this little grip. You gotta make sure that they match up like this, okay? Minus, oh my shot, here we go. There we go, you gotta make sure they match up. Because if you don't match those up, it could slide on. Oh my God. It could slide on either way, okay? And if you don't have them match up, they will be uneven and it will be a nightmare to get off. And even if you have them on the right way, I'll show you, it is really close. It's easy to put them on. I'll show you right now, okay? You have the rail. Slide it on. Look. Got a nice satisfying click. That's where the whole Switch kind of logo came from, where it has that comes down. I'll show a video of it now. All right, great. Now you have little L and R buttons on top. Oh, it's so cute. I can play as the Mario Kart and Street Fighter. All right, great. I need to take this off and put it back on my Switch so I could charge it, or I could play it in tabletop mode or portable mode, or you wouldn't play it in tabletop mode with the actual Joy-Con on it, but you get my point. So it should be easy to take off, right? You flick the little lock button here, back, and you got a little release button here, and that should be easy, right? Ha ha! That's where you'll be wrong. That's where... that's not seamless, Nintendo! You gotta put effort in to take that thing back off. Let's try it again. Okay, this clicks in nice and smooth. They have the, you gotta make sure that the little gray tab is back, the unlock tab. Let's try it again. Oh. Kids use this, it's gonna break. I'm letting you know now. So there we go. These can die in a fire. I will never use these. I'll figure out something with the 1-2 switch. I'll tape the fucking Joy-Con to my hand. What is that, Nintendo? What is it? Okay. So let's see. This is I think this is actually called the Joy-Con grip. Guys can correct me in the comments section, but here it is. This turns your Joy-Cons turns it to one regular controller. Take a look at the Joy-Con. Okay. Now, this one does not charge. This is just has lights on it, but it doesn't charge your actual Joy-Cons like the one, the accessory one you could buy from stores. But so you put one Joy-Con on there. Oh, that click is so satisfying. I will give him that, even though I'm like having a rage moment right now. Put the other one on. And no, that's not sounds of pleasure. I don't know if I like this. It's a cool concept, very clever ingenuity here. But like, I feel like I have to stretch to hit the bumpers. I don't know if you see that. And again, very happy, very, very happy. I bought the Pro Controller. Getting happier by the second that I made that decision. Okay. So this is the Joy-Con grip. If I am wrong about what it is called, please correct me in the comment section. I thought I knew all the names of everything here. And it turns your Joy-Cons into a controller so you can sit down and play games like, you're playing them on the PS4, Xbox One, or wirelessly on your PC. Cool stuff. Now let's see how easy it is to take the Joy-Cons off of here. Let's see. Got our button, Nintendo. All right, that's much easier. That's okay. I could deal with that. These things, Nintendo, they're even putting them on, like, admittedly, I didn't put them on right the first time, okay? And I didn't do any damage, though. Look, I didn't do any damage too, so you can't say that, oh, Rich, you damage it, that's why. Look, there's nothing wrong. Nothing got broken. Okay. They're just not, that's not a very smooth or ergonomic design. It's not easy to take these off. So, I don't know what you were thinking with those, Nintendo. You thought everything else out with this system, it seems so far so well, and then these are like, you need the jaws of life to take them off. All right, I'm done. I'm done talking. They're really making me angry, though. Anyway, here is the Switch now. Let's put these on the Switch and see how it is. So, got that here. Ooh, that click is satisfying. It almost makes up for those goddamn Joy-Con grips. Now, it's interesting. These actually feel the most comfortable on here. I didn't like them in the Joy-Con grip. Did not like him using them as single controllers, like having this just be the controller, or be using one Joy-Con, having like, you know, your second player use the other Joy-Con. Way too small and way too clumsy. These did not help, and the fact that they are impossible to take off definitely doesn't help. But here, okay, Nintendo, okay, it feels better. Still not thrilled how the trigger buttons and bumper buttons feel on top. They feel flimsy. Yeah, but all in all, this doesn't feel that bad. Not bad. All right, this is a Nintendo Switch. I'm interested and curious to try it out. Hope you enjoyed this very lengthy and very accessory-rich unboxing. I will have a review of the Nintendo Switch. You got to give me like a week with it. I really want to get my hands on it and really play some games and see how it performs. Download some games from the eShop and see how those are, and really give an educated review on the system and know how it really is to use on a daily basis. So, all right, guys, this is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for supporting my channel. Have a good one.